So one of my highlights on my West Coast trip, I went to Alberta and British Columbia, was climbing mountains. In Canmore, we climbed this mountain and we did this Haling Peak. And beautiful, you could see the scenery there. It's just breathtaking. When went to Lake Louise, I climbed that mountain too, and you could see Lake Louise from the top. It's beautiful, really. And then when I went to British Columbia, I went to this St. Mark's Summit, where could you see the Vancouver's Islands from the top. And I was with Father Brenton and also with other seminarians there. It's just we don't want to go we don't want to go down. We just want to stay there because it's just breathtaking. And reading our gospel today, I could relate with Peter, James, and John when they saw before their very eyes Jesus being transfigured. It says in our gospel today, it says he was transfigured before them, and his clothes became dazzling white, such as no one on earth could bleach them. And this reminds us of the vision that prophet Daniel saw in the Old Testament, in Daniel chapter 7. He saw his clothing was white as snow, and the hair of his head like pure wool. His throne was fiery flames, and its wheels were burning fire. A stream of fire issued and flowed out from his presence. But what Peter, James, and John witnessed was more than what the prophet Daniel saw, because prophet Daniel saw was just a vision. In our gospel today, Peter, James, and John seeing it before their very eyes. The divinity of Jesus. Not just seeing, but also hearing. What did they hear? What did they hear? They heard God the Father speaking. This is my Son, the beloved. Listen to him. That's why I was not surprised. Peter, James, and John said, let's camp here. We don't want to go down. Let's just stay here for the rest of our life. But Jesus said, no, we have to go down. We still have a mission to do. And told them, what Jesus told them? Told them not to tell anyone about what they had seen until after the Son of Man had risen from the dead. And for me, when I saw that breathtaking scenery on top of the mountain in Alberta and British Columbia, when I went down, I can't help but tell people, when you go to Canmore, when you go to Lake Louise, when you go to British Columbia, climb this mountain, so that you will be able to see this breathtaking scenery. And Peter, James, and John, I'm sure they couldn't help themselves. They can't wait for the resurrection to tell people of what they saw. So after the resurrection, they can't just help themselves. They were sharing to people what they saw on that mountain. They can't help but share with people that mountaintop experience that they had. In our first reading today, it says there, Peter speaking, we had been eyewitnesses of his majesty, for he received honor and glory from God the Father when that voice was conveyed to him by the majestic glory, saying, this is my Son, the beloved, with him I am well pleased. We ourselves heard this voice come from heaven while we were with him on the holy mountain. So we have the prophetic message more fully confirmed. Okay? They can't help themselves. They want to share to people that Jesus is truly God. And we for us, we could also have this mountaintop experience. And we don't need to climb high mountains to be able to experience this. In our prayer time, we could have this mountaintop experience. In that silence and solitude before God, that you'll be able to witness His beauty, the beauty of His love, the beauty of His faithfulness, the beauty of His compassion and mercy. But most of all, the beauty of how the Lord is transforming you. And you must not keep it to yourself. You must share it as you go down the mountain, as you do your work throughout the day. You must not keep it to yourself. You must share it to others of what you've witnessed in your prayer time. The beauty of God.